This episode of The Midlifers is sponsored by SC Accounting.
Not happy, Jan!
Wax on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
Hello. Hello and welcome, Midlifers. We're your hosts, Fonz
and Mez.
This is our weekly podcast where it's not self-help but more help yourself to a smorgasbord of nostalgia, laughter and a deep dive into the past.
On today's show, we're going to have our then and now segment of Maccas. What was it like growing up compared to today? Rant and Rave, kids' parties. Do you like them or not? And when we first came up with this concept of this show, this was one of my original ideas. I wanted to wait to episode 10 because I'm very passionate about this. We're doing Who Did a Better Battle of Lost Boys versus Twilight.
Oh, let's jump in.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Mez, this is our 10th episode.
Yes.
And I would like to start it with my midlifer moment.
Okay.
Last week I had this black dot on my head.
I did notice it.
How could you not? It was huge. It was raised and I was thinking, this needs to be checked out. So I made my doctor's appointment with a skin cancer specialist and I'm lying in bed and I'm playing with it and it popped and all this blood came out. I'm like, far out. And I let it go. But every day after I had a shower and it would bleed. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Something's going on. I was really, really worried and stressed out. And then on the third day, I looked into the mirror and I just tapped it a bit and this giant white hair came out of it. I looked like a unicorn. I gave it a little tug and it had a bit of grip and it held. I'm like, oh, I don't have cancer. I've got a long white hair in my head.
At the middle of your forehead.
Oh, the relief. So I plucked it out and within 2 days it had cleared up completely.
Okay.
I cancelled my appointment.
Yep. Did you tell the doctor it's just a random hair in my forehead?
Random white hair growing out from the middle of my head. The relief I felt, and I'm like, oh, these random hairs as a midlifer. So that's my midlifer moment. I know there are women and men out there who can empathise with me. And I stand in solidarity with my white hair brigade.
The cotton test proves nair leaves legs smoother days longer than shaving.
Macca's, McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Our international listeners, I think in America it's Mickey D's. Obviously it's been around from before we were born, but very iconic. I have a lot of memories there in my childhood.
A lot.
Spent a lot of times there.
Yes.
So let's dissect. Let's talk about what was it like then compared to now.
Mez, I still have a photo from back in 1985 or 1986. So you came to my birthday party.
Ah, yes.
And I had a Macca's party.
Kids' Macca's parties.
Oh, that was the best.
They were huge.
And we dressed up for him. Like we were in these little pretty dresses. So attending a Macca's party as a child was a major event. And do you know what I remember from the birthday parties? The ice cream cake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, I don't remember it. Was this an ice cream cake?
Yeah, but in the 80s, it was the ice cream cake.
Okay, ice cream cakes were a big thing in the 80s. Yeah. But have you ever had a Macca's party now?
They don't do them now. I've looked into it for my kids.
Oh, no, I must have got it just at the tail end.
Yeah,
it must have been pre-COVID.
It was pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah. My daughter went to one. Boring.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just from the adult perspective, but the playgrounds are much smaller, I suppose, than what they were when we were kids.
Were there playgrounds when we were kids?
I remember going to Macca's party with a playground. Otherwise, what do we do? Just sit at Macca's?
I can't. I remember.
What do we actually do for the party?
I remember we used to play Pass the Parcel. Like they had a host that actually hosted games.
They still do that.
Right.
Or did
do that pre-COVID.
Maybe it's like, as an adult is boring, but yeah, it didn't have the magic that we remember as kids. So
that's a really good word, magic. It was magical as a child.
Magical takeaway.
Yeah.
Fast food place. What I remember is the ashtrays. Do you remember?
I wrote down. I remember the ashtrays. They were silver.
Yes.
Aluminium.
With like 3 little things.
Yes.
Very
with
flat.
the M in the middle.
Yes.
I remember
Iconic.
that.
Yes. Even
How
the whole
random.
I know it is random. Even the whole idea, it's weird because I remember when they took away smoking at restaurants, sort of in the
2003, 2004.
So we used to work at TGI Fridays and I was a sort of host there and you'd ask them smoking or non-smoking, which is literally one side of the restaurant or the other, as if it made a difference.
Yeah.
So it's so bizarre to think, yes, that used to happen, but let alone at Macca's.
Yeah.
With all the kids
Do you remember
around.
your parents ever lighting up? At
Not
Macca's?
at Macca's, but like at the shopping centres and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And in the car. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I remember as growing up, the Macca's, the characters. They were a big thing. Grimace. Yes.
Grimace was huge, literally and figuratively.
Yes, yeah. Ronald McDonald was always a bit creepy, I
I
found.
never liked Ronald McDonald. There was Mayor McCheese.
Oh.
I remember Mayor McCheese. The Hamburglar.
Hamburglar, yes.
Gosh.
The cheeky little
Iconic.
hamburger. Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of gone. It's not very much
It's like
focused
they're
towards-
clutching at straws as to what's popular or what's coming out in movies, like with Happy Meal toys and stuff.
Do we have Happy Meals?
Yes.
Do we?
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I remember only a few years ago for my son, he doesn't like cheeseburgers. And so I would order him a junior burger.
Mm-hmm.
And it was last year I went to order him a junior burger and they didn't know what I was talking about.
What?
Yeah. And this is at drive-through. I go, a junior burger.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what you mean. I go,
Just meat.
I go, it's a cheeseburger without cheese. She goes, oh, a hamburger.
Ah.
So they completely changed.
changed
And
it.
I remember saying to my sister-in-law who was in the car with me, I'm like, is this a whole generation that doesn't know what a junior burger is? Because
I've never known.
it killed my soul.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I only ordered it like last year. So, yeah, so junior burgers are out and
Junior burgers
hamburgers
out.
are the new.
Ah,
Junior
there you
burger.
go. Do they still have the cookie boxes? Do you remember the cookie boxes?
Yeah, I remember the cookie boxes. Oh, I think they do. I think I got one for my kids.
Oh, okay. They're
I
still
think,
around.
I think.
I do now. Going back to the Happy Meals, I do remember the like little Muppet toys or something like that.
Yes.
I don't think my parents ever got them for us, which is fine. But,
Yeah.
But now they've even changed the Happy Toys. Now it's more educational toys.
Or no, you got a choice of a toy or
Yeah.
a book.
You know what else thing about Macca's growing up is how cheap it was. I remember when our party days would go night clubbing, then go to Macca's and I'd have used to get a medium meal for like $5. You get the whole meal for $5. And then it's like thinking back, you know, when the parents would say, oh, I used to buy a loaf of bread for $1. Now I'd be like, I used to get Macca's for $5.
Actually, speaking of the clubbing days, because I was very conscious of my weight back then, and I remember ordering an apple from Macca's. That's when they first brought in a healthy meal. And like you guys would be having these delicious meal deals and I'd be chomping on an apple.
Can I just say, you'd always take my fries. You'd like, I won't have any chips. And then I would order some and you'd be like, oh, can I have a few? I'm like, sure. And then you would end up eating half. I'm like, really? Yes.
I don't remember that.
Just get it yourself.
If I had known, I would have bought it myself with my apple. Do you know what I remember doing though, as a kid, dipping my fries in my thick shake?
Oh, yes.
Delicious.
I don't know if I actually liked it, but I liked the idea
I
of it.
loved it.
Now look at Macca's now. Even the whole store inside has changed. McCafe, which is cool for the grown-ups. But you know when sometimes you see an 80s meme for how fun it was as kids. It was geared towards kids.
If the Macca's back then existed now, it'd just be grotty. And I don't know if I'm more germ conscious since 2020. I'd just be bloody
Yeah, those vinyl
wiping
vinyl
those chairs. But you're right. The fun is gone. It is much more sterile now. I don't go there though.
Don't you?
I only go through drive-through to get my kids a Happy Meal. I had it on a road trip. I had some nuggets and they were crap. I'm sorry, McDonald's, but they were not nice.
My kids rate their
My
nuggets.
kids love their nuggets, but
Yeah.
I'd rather, I don't know, my homemade chicken nuggets are good.
I actually don't
Pure
mind them.
breast.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's in the nuggets, but I actually don't mind them.
Mez, can I just say, I took the kids when we went to Italy to Macca's in Rome.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Happy Meal toys, they got a full book pack.
Oh.
So for labeling when they start school.
Oh, wow.
And they had pencils, a pencil case. They had labels for their books so they could write their names. It was phenomenal. And you could choose a girl's toy or a boy's toy.
Oh, geez, that's
and
fancy.
more. You can
There's
have
more.
a probiotic yogurt to go with it. So the kids have the yogurt before they eat their Maccas.
Oh, wow.
And another extra was a block of Reggiano Parmigiano cheese. And I loved it. Gosh, that was a great experience.
That's fancy.
It was fancy.
Good to know.
Yeah.
If I go to Rome, I'm getting myself a piece of Parmigiano Reggiano. with my food. Also looking at the dinner now with the food, you know, said they've started to bring in the healthy stuff. Apple slices. Does anyone actually do the apple slices?
I think I did it once, but you have to order it. Like, you can't not order the chips. You have to order
I know.
the chips.
It's got to go with the chips.
Yeah, that's a nice trip down memory lane.
It is about our fast food adventures with
And
Macca's.
what a trip it was.
Indeed. What is there?
Oh, no. I've got to start with 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, little cheese, because onions on sesame seed bun.
They pull, they bend, they're Popoids, and you can collect one of 4 different 3-piece Toby Popoid sets when you buy a McDonald's Crazy Creatures Happy Meal.
Rant, 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 rave, 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 rant or rave. Yeah. Ms.
Yes.
How do you feel when you receive an invitation to a child's birthday party?
Depends. If I haven't been to one for a while, that's fine. If I've got a few in a row, and I have turned down parties sometimes. If my kid's not that close to them and they've been to a few, it's like, nah, I can't. Yeah.
So I've just started.
Okay.
And I have to say I love them. I think, honestly, it's because my son's class has the most fun parents.
Okay.
And it's like a party. It's we're spewing, the kids are there.
Oh,
like,
really?
It's really fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We are.
And it must be fun because of the parents and the personalities, and it's lucky with that dynamic that we have. I don't even look at my kid when he's at the party.
See, I've got down on my list about the ranting, the fact that you've got to make small talk with the parents for 2 hours.
Oh, I have so much fun.
No, see, when I first started, it was good because you get to know the parents. And remember, my kids in their class is like 28 kids, so there's a lot. And I don't really know the parents that well. And even the ones I do, for 2 hours to make the small talk, it's too long. And then by the 3rd or 4th party, it's like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So there's been some, like my son went to a trampoline place. So dropped him off there, got my coffee. I sat in the corner and read for 2 hours.
Really?
And then the mum of the party came by, and like when it's time to cut the cake, that's when they get all the kids together. I'm like, cool. All other parents sort of like half mingling, half watching the kids. I'm reading my book. I'm right in the corner. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Oh, look, I'm just going to do a shout out to my son's parents. I'm going to promote this in the parents group. You guys rock. You are the most fun parents I've ever hung out with, and I rave them. I rave those parents.
Yeah, for me, I find it a bit like a chore. I don't
understand that.
Yeah, so I don't like the parents are fine. You know, they're similar to me, so I think I'm okay. But it's sort of that forced conversation.
Yeah.
And I find it good to catch up on gossip of what's happening around school, whatever. But no. So it's usually the same group of people. So by the 3rd or 4th time, I'm like, oh, no, I don't
You
want
again.
to do it. Yes, yeah. So I enjoy having the coffee there and the little, food, the snacks that you have. And it's great that kids have fun. But
yeah, I love good birthday cake.
Yes.
Like when the parents put effort into the cake.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
Beautiful.
But you know when you hang back and like they start serving the cake to the kids and you're just waiting there, and especially if it's a small cake and then they come around and offer the cake like, yeah.
Do you know what's been nice though? Because there have been moments where I haven't been able to attend, and they send cake home to me.
Oh,
I know. It's a delicious
special.
icing. I know. I'm really, really, really lucky.
Okay, I think you're in a different category than most other people, really.
But even last year, when my son was at kinder, he only got invited to one birthday party last year. And they even I couldn't make it, and they sent me home cake. I'm just sitting there like, nom, 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 nom.
I've never had that.
Yeah.
What world do you live in?
I don't know, but a world of delicious cake and beautiful parents. That's where I live in. So I think actually, yes, it's if you gel, it's a rave.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you don't gel, I can understand the rant.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. Also, in regards to hosting your own kids' party.
Oh, the exhaustion.
And I feel like, especially with your first, you put so much pressure on yourself. I've got to have a theme. What's the theme? What's the cake? Whatever. What are we going to do? What are the prizes? What are the games? And I've got 3, and by my third kid, it's like, whatever. What theme is it? I don't know. Just turn up. I'm going to make a cake, or I'll buy it from Buddy Ferguson Player. Just come along.
Because my second born was born during COVID. And so she's really missed out on the birthday parties.
Yeah, they're too young. They don't know.
No, she doesn't know.
But yeah, I just found that you place so much pressure on yourself to try to get it right, and it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, all that matters is that you got the kids there together. They're going to have fun regardless, really.
Yeah.
You got sugar. They're going to have fun.
And, the only thing I can say about hosting is you're always on your feet.
Yeah.
You're always on the go, making sure everyone's happy, making sure the food's out on time. I do find it stressful.
Yes, it's stressful and exhausting. And I can't relax until the cake's done. And even then, actually, I can't probably relax until the kids are gone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you have to be on your A game.
Yeah, that's why I prefer doing it at a play centre or something like that. Yeah, because I've done a few at the house, and especially when the kids are younger, it's hard because you've got all the parents waiting there too. So the house all of a sudden seems really tiny because it's full of kids and their parents. And you got to do the cleanup and everything. Now it's like I'd rather just pay.
I'd rather pay.
Go get it done. Yeah.
I can't think of anything worse than having children and people at my house. I don't know, am I a hermit now?
I think you are.
You're hermitized. I'm just like, keep my floors clean. Don't put a dent on the floor. No high heels, thanks. But definitely the kids' parties at soft play centres, at Time Zone. Oh, they give you a host. They supply the food. They can supply the cake.
And they direct you. They direct you. Keep it moving. That's good.
Oh, God.
And plus, you got a cut-off time. At this time, you've got to be out. Get out. The worst is when everyone's just mingling around your house. It's like, time's done.
I have to sweep.
The worst is when you invite kids to a party and you sort of have to entrust those invitations to your kid to give to their teacher. You don't get RSVPs. I don't know if you've had this yet.
No,
I've had many parties where, say, there's 15 kids invited, 5 I don't get RSVPs. I'm like, and then my son will like, oh, they said yeah or no. It's like, I can't rely on that. I need evidence. Yeah. And then you're thinking, oh God, because especially if it's like go back to trampoline place where you've got to tell them the numbers.
Yes.
And think, God, please don't someone rock up that you expecting to come. They haven't RSVP'd. It's the unknown.
I haven't experienced that yet.
Oh, it's horrible. It's not as if you have access to the parents because I don't know the parents. So you're relying on your kids' feedback and I don't know.
God,
I don't know
that
anything.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. You just have to go with what you got and
good luck.
Yes, good luck. Godspeed.
But do you know I love lolly bags?
Oh yeah.
The kids, I know because my son's older, he eats the lollies in a lolly bag. But God, I love a lolly bag.
Nothing like a lolly bag.
Especially with the good lollies.
Yes.
Like not the cheap stuff.
Yeah. The good.
Got a Morrow or a little cherry ripe in there. Delicious. Yeah. Good lolly bag.
Good lolly bag. I don't need the little toys and stuff, although I see why they add the toys because there's so much sugar in the party.
Yeah.
But yeah, good lolly bag. And it's funny, again, because I've got the 3 kids, the person who has it, like has this power all of a sudden and the other 2 have to suck up to them like, please can I have it? Like, I will decide which one you may have. I'm going to apportion it to you accordingly. Anyway.
So Mez, do you rant or rave the kids' parties?
Okay. I'll rant it for what's involved with me.
Yep.
But I'll rave it and it'll always come on top because the kids are happy.
Correct. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
The kids' happiness gives the rave.
Yes, they bleed us dry, but
they suck our souls. But your happiness will fulfill us for another year.
Nothing tastes the same as the juice from the sugar cane. Sugar, a natural wine.
Who did it better battle?
Oh my God,
Ding.
I'm jumping out of my chair, Fawn. Can you tell I'm excited? Who did a better battle this week? Talking vampires. We're talking 80s classic, iconic movie, Lost Boys, versus the 2000s phenomenon, Twilight. And I think we're just going to talk about the first Twilight movie because, they're all blend into each other, so who knows.
So what do you want to talk about first, Mez? Because I know you have been chomping at the bit for this.
So Lost Boys, as I said, was a classic. And I think my brothers, I've got 2 older brothers, they grew up with it more. And because they did, I did. So their love for it rubbed off on me.
Yeah, it's a very Gen X movie.
It is. It is very Gen X. But both movies, what they do have, obviously, vampires, the sort of forbidden love.
Love or lust? Lost Boys had lust.
Yeah.
Twilight had love.
Love and lust. Yeah. Music, sexy actors. But when I think of what Twilight doesn't have, I'm sorry, is chemistry,
Personality.
fun, laughter. I don't know, all of it.
Yeah,
the
it's
above.
quite. I think out of the vampire movies, it's quite bland.
Yeah, and it's such a shame because we both were into the Twilight books.
I love the books.
So did I, and it built up that tension and everything.
Yes.
And then get to the movie, it's just like,
Oh my God, it was such a disappointment. I remember saying to my friend, I want to write to the directors and ask for a remake. I was that disappointed.
oh, it was so bad. And he just didn't have any of that chemistry or any of that.
It didn't conjure up those gut
No.
feelings.
No.
Like I remember reading the books and I swear every morning I'd go to my friend at work, Kim, shout out to you, and we would just talk about the next chapter of Twilight that we just read.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were like, oh, it's just so lusty and lovey and ooh.
Yeah, so you can wait for more.
Yeah,
Whereas
but
the
the
movies,
book- I was- sorry.
the movie, the movie. I find it so. Is it the word dour? It was just so
Ooh,
depressing
dour.
and slow. And I'm not a fan of Kristen Stewart, the
Yep.
actress, the main actress in it. She's just so pause
So
in between each sentence while I talk about my feelings. It's like, come on, bit of life.
But did you notice the facial expressions? It was just a constant constipated facial expression.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, come on, like even Bella Swan, the main female lead, she just had no personality.
No.
Like, and it's like, you're not a vampire yet. You can smile.
Yeah. Oh, so bleh. But then, think of Lost Boys. Let's talk about Lost Boys. What else is classically 80s about it? You've got the two Corys.
Yes.
Corey Feldman,
Yes.
Corey Haim. In, their chemistry, like they're so
The besties.
charismatic and
Yeah.
fun to watch.
But even having Keith Sutherland.
Yes. Oh, I've put it down to Kiefer. He was very hot in this. He was a hot vampire.
Do you find him hot?
in the movie?
I didn't. No.
I
Michael.
did. Michael.
What's his name? Something Patrick. Michael Patrick? No, his name's not Michael in real life. Oh my God. Have you noticed though the amount of times they say the name Michael throughout the whole movie?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Even now, if someone introduces themselves to me as Michael, in my head, I'm going, Michael. It's stuck in it's melded to my brain. And those aren't that's not rice. You're eating maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots.
And the worms. Was
yeah,
it
the worms with the noodles. Yeah.
The visual effects were very good. Very simple, but good.
Very simple. But if you compare the visual effects then from the 80s to the Twilight, maybe it's like 2010, they didn't progress much. I remember you saying there's got a scene where the vampires, yes, when they go into the sun, they're supposed to, the book describes it as like sparkling, shimmering. And you were saying it's like they put the sparkly cocoa butter on their skin.
The
and just,
Palmer's cocoa butter. I wrote that down in my notes.
I remember you saying that.
It was such a disappointment because in the book it's like meant to be enchanting and it wasn't not.
They had a little bit of shimmery body butter.
It was terrible.
And yeah, you think the special effects have progressed 30 years and Twilight gave you nothing.
No.
But it's interesting watching Lost Boys. So I said I watched it as a kid and I also watched it as an adult and it still stands. And I know those special effects are simple, but they're still good.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And gosh, what I loved about the Lost Boys was long mullets, the peroxide hair. The chewing gum was seen as a form of rebellion. They openly chew.
What is that? Why is that?
I don't know. Something about the mouth. The motorcycles. But also what I remember was people headbanging to that guy playing the saxophone.
I must say something about this. So when I watched it as an adult and I saw the guy with the saxophone, I was shocked because I had a crush on him when I first watched the movie and I was like 6 years old. And watching it as an adult, seeing this big beefy guy, I've got a photo here, just so you can get I'm going to put this on the socials. That's him there, this there.
Yeah.
Me as a 6-year-old being turned on by this guy who I'll describe as wearing jeans, a studded belt, no top, oiled up chest, half up, half down, long hair,
Literal chains around.
around his neck, playing saxophone on a stage, and I thought he was hot. And now looking, I'm like almost shocked
But
at
he
my
had
6-year-old
charisma.
self. He did have charisma, and I was actually looking into him. He was actually a famous saxophonist. He toured with Tina Turner.
Tina Turner, yes.
And he's like, all I ever get known for is playing saxophone on the beach in the Lost Boys.
People headbanging to the
Yes.
saxophone.
Oh, that was so iconic. I thought he was so hot. Look at him. Look at that big ball of
Greased
muscle.
up.
He's so greased up. He's so
Grease me up, Scotty.
He's like, I believe. I'll keep this full. Going back to Twilight, can I just ask? Obviously, the books were huge, and then the movies were huge, even though they were crap. People getting Twilight tattoos. Do you remember this? People were getting Twilight tattoos, and I'm curious whether nowadays, yes, I'll have to find some things in the socials, but people were so obsessed they got the tattoos, and I was thinking now that the hype's well and truly died down, do they regret that decision? No.
So cringe. Oh my God.
Yeah. And also, the music, the soundtrack in Lost Boys is fantastic. Even though I don't mind the music for some of the songs from Twilight.
Yeah, some of the songs.
Yeah, I thought the soundtrack
was
great.
no Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. No. But it still had Muse on it. We know when they played baseball and the Muse song was playing. That was quite cool. But nah.
All right, so for me, no contest, hands down. Lost Boys, 100%.
Yes,
you're our winner.
Agree. Michael.
Michael and Sam have just moved to Santa Carla, California. They're about to discover its secret.
Yes.
Oh, what a great 10th episode, Mez.
I know. Thank you for coming along with us.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us 10 times so far. We hope you come back next week, and please like, subscribe and follow our socials, and also on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts.
You're going to name these each time. Yes.
I will try.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you, Fonz.
Thank you, Mez.
Bye.
Bye-bye.